Good morning, and welcome to another episode of the 010 podcast. Andy and I are here today chit-chatting about just some trends and things like that, and we decided that this would be a good podcast topic. What
Yeah,
we're
I,
noticing.
yeah, and it's interesting as we were talking about whether we wanted to do this today or not. We see different trends, but we also live in different places. And
Yes.
so that brings up, how do trends hit and why do they hit certain places at certain times? And I remember growing up in Bismarck, which wasn't a small town, but not large city. We would always say how we would get the trends, 2 or 3 years later. But
Yeah.
I don't know, is that accurate anymore? Probably back then it was, but now is it? No, because we see it, we can see it. We can see it other places.
Yeah, I do think social media kind of brings that in, connects everyone a little bit more, but what we
Sorry,
were,
my dog is being naughty, of
oh
course.
no, deuce.
You talk about trends. I'm gonna get my
Okay.
dog.
Okay. So we were discussing how individualized trends are right now, other than and I should say fashion, how individualized fashion is. That you can walk into a room and nobody really looks the same right now. If they're following trend, honestly. If you're not following trend, you probably look like a bunch of people. But I'd say right now it's very, you can wear about anything that you want. You can do your hair, not do your hair. You can do your makeup, you cannot do your makeup, whatever it is that you're kind of feeling, which I love because honestly, that's what we teach actually. Is like, this is who are you and what do you want to wear and what do you want to feel like and what do you not want to wear. I mean, bras, for example. I get comments not from people, but I tell people all the time to not wear bras because of how bad it is for your breathing and how restricted it is to your rib cage, right? And so we have that conversation, and it's like, well, if there's a day that you don't need to wear a bra, like then don't wear one. But on the days that you need one, because you're, whatever, wear
I
one.
can't imagine. I can't imagine not wearing a bra.
And
But
I'm like most days I'm not, but I also am not wearing this tighty tight shirt that or any, like it's like,
right,
but
right,
if you wanted to, you can. It
right,
doesn't matter.
right,
It's your
right,
thing.
right.
Yeah.
I had an employee one time. I don't I will, of course, never say her name, and I'm sure she doesn't listen to the podcast, but she came to work one day without a bra. Do you remember the story?
Yes,
She
for
had on
sure.
a
It's a
white
great
tank.
one.
Oh, she had a white tank top on and no bra at Karmavita, and it was, and she told me that it was her right as a female to do what she wanted, and that I couldn't suppress her and all of the things, but which I understood. I understood as a young female, she was empowering herself to be who she wanted to be. But, that's a whole nother topic. There does come into play dress code and employer preferences. And when you work for someone, you do have to do you have to dress how they want you to dress.
Yeah.
But that sweet little thing, boy, she was passionate about not having to wear a bra. And I get it. I do. I get it. And there's freedom in those types of things, right? So it's not just the physical freedom of not being, what's the word? Confounded, tied up, I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many things that come into play with it. So I understand all that, but I think I love your point your point. We do talk to people about that, right? Like, how do you feel today?
Yeah.
How do you feel right now? What do you want to wear right now? Do you want to put makeup on today? You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to fix your hair. You don't have to look a certain way. You look how you want to look. And I love that that is sort of a trend now. It feels that way. It feels like that way of being is much more acceptable now than maybe like, okay, let's talk about like the 50s or 60s when women always had to be, they always had their makeup on, right? And they always had their hair done and they had to be a certain way. And we don't have that anymore.
I was watching a movie, Pure Country, the other night, and I don't know if you've seen Pure
That's a good one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Country.
George Strait.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
one?
Anyway,
Yeah.
there was like, they were line dancing, and everyone except
Mm-hmm.
one girl was wearing shorts, and the main girl, but
Mm-hmm.
lots of Rockies. Okay, lots of people wearing Rockies, and it's like, okay, I bet there are multiple people that were wearing Rockies that were like so uncomfortable wearing Rockies, like high up to the, the button up. Like they would have had, it would have, some people would have been very uncomfortable wearing them, but they would have worn them anyway because it was on trend,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue that I feel like I've got. Like if you want to, I remember wearing really short shorts. I didn't feel comfortable in really short shorts, but I wore them because everyone else was wearing them.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like I couldn't even find a pair of shorts that I would feel comfortable in. So I just wore them anyway. And,
Mm-hmm.
I now I'm like, no, like I would rather wear a dress every day than put on those short shorts with my,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, with my bum. I've got a butt. And
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't make them like that. So either my butt crack was showing or the bottom of my butt cheek, one side or the other, you know?
Yeah. I luckily didn't, I wasn't, I wasn't in an age group that would have ever worn short shorts when they were in. Are they in now? Still, they are kind of. I still do see a lot of
Yeah,
shorty shorts out there, but
I do too. Yeah, there's definitely some short ones. Um,
mm,
but I don't, again, like if they want to, if you want to wear them, you get to wear them. If you don't want to wear them, you don't, right? Like, yeah, I do. And like you said with the employee stuff or like what your workspace is, that's a little bit different. Like
yeah,
it's, but you
yeah,
have to have it written down, you guys. Like if you,
yeah,
you
yeah,
have to have your what is that, uniform or whatever. Like
yeah,
it needs to be in your policies because yeah, you'll run into trouble.
yeah. Little sweetie pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was passionate about it. Um, Trends are, as you were talking about the short shorts, I was thinking about, was it last year, this year? I don't know. Cause again, I don't really pay attention to trends. But there's been a trend to or like 80s clothes, right? Neon, was that last year or is it this year? Neon and 80s style clothing and things like that. And what I always think about is like trends tend to be cyclical, right? If you hold on to your clothes, which I haven't been good at over the years, but
Yeah.
what
Well,
would what did I just wear recent? I wore something recently that um I had for like I don't know. Oh, it was just a bikini. Honestly, it was just a bikini, but I wore it in Arizona, and Rayanne, my future daughter-in-law, was saying she thought it was so cute, and I've had it for well over 20 years, and
yeah.
it would be super in style right now. And so I think it is interesting how things come back around. It's just if you hold on to things, that's the hard part, isn't it? Is like how long do you hold on to things?
Well, and we talked about this a little bit too. The quality of clothes are very
Yes,
um there's a wide range.
right,
So like some clothes being able to make it 10 years like that you buy now, not so much, right?
right.
But then there are, places, there are things that you probably could buy that would last for a long time. I think jackets are super awesome when you pull out an old
Mhm.
jacket. Like I love those. I didn't even think about bikini, honestly. But yeah, I would think that there's some really neat ones of those out there.
I have a Guess jean jacket hanging in my closet that I bought in junior high school.
Wow.
And yeah, it was, back then it was an $80 jacket. And and I bought it with my own money. So like I held on to that thing and I've worn it maybe only a handful of times over the years, but like people notice it. They're like, oh my gosh, is that a Guess jean jacket? And it's like the tan color. It's a khaki color, so it's a little different. But anyway, the quality of it, yeah, it could last forever. It's beautiful. So you're right. There has been there can be you can purchase clothes that don't have that quality. And then of course you can purchase clothes that do. And I think that brings up another point. Boy, we're going on a tangent here, but um, I don't know if everybody is aware of that the forever chemicals that they're putting in our clothing, and they're in the cheap clothes. They're not in the expensive. Well, I shouldn't say that. They maybe could be, but they have a distinct, like you can smell them. I've bought things where I'm like, oh, that doesn't smell good, and and then when you throw them in your wash, then the chemicals are hitting your other clothes and your sheets and your whatever. And so anyway, that's just a thought process too, is like, remember what you put on your body,
Yep.
clothing. It's not just, and we've talked about lotions and things like that in the past, and skincare and makeup and all the things, but clothing too, our sheets, our bedding, all of
Yeah.
those things can, they absorb into our bodies. So we want to be
Remember
trendy, but you also want to be cautious of what you're putting on your body.
100% all day long, you know. I remember when I did my internship out in California, and that's right when leggings were coming back,
Mm.
like, you know, tight black leggings or whatever. And I was in the chiropractic office was attached to a CrossFit gym, and the brothers owned it. So we had a CrossFitter and a chiropractor.
Mm.
And a gal would she came in and they're like, "Oh, I really like your leggings." She's like, "Honestly, yeah, they're made out of plastic bottles." And
Oh,
in my head, I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense, you know, considering, you know, I was in a very healthy area, although they're big on recycling because they have such a garbage issue. So like in their mind, it was like they were doing something great for the environment. And in my
right.
mind, I'm like, dude, you're putting plastic on your
Yes.
when you're sweating and opening everything up, you know, your pores open up and then you're sweating that in, like it's letting that stuff in even more. But I went down the plastic pants route probably too, you know, with all
I
the
think it's in
leggings.
our leggings right now. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I've heard that many times, that like leggings are not good for the female body, because then it also is like, a lot of times a lot of women don't wear underwear with their leggings. So then it's like absorbing right into our reproductive system. It's
Yeah.
like, it's crazy. Do
Right.
I stop wearing leggings? No. I wear them when I want to wear them, and I trust that I'm going to be okay. I mean, you,
Yeah.
I also think sometimes you can't sit and worry about these things all day, every day either.
No.
When my leggings wear out, will I make a different choice? Yeah, probably, now that I know. But,
Yep.
I've
Same.
had them for a while. And anyway, yeah, you can't.
I did transition my underwear not too long ago. And
Mm,
I buy cotton underwear now. Not that
yeah.
I know I don't always wear
Yes.
undies,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Andy?
Right.
But I really, yeah, I feel like that's really important, especially with how many female things we've got going on, as hormonal stuff, you know. Just to think about it. If you never thought about it, just think about it next time you buy.
Just think about it. Okay, since we're
Yep.
going down that route too, I started buying bamboo toilet paper instead of the extremely chemically laden toilet paper that they
It feels
give
so
us
healthy.
now. And well, and again, it's like, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories too much, but like, why are all these female, they say tampons, they're just full of chemicals, they're full of things that are hurting us. Toilet paper. So anyway, yeah, is it more expensive? Yeah, it is a little bit more expensive, but it's not terrible. It's not like, it's
How
not going to
does
break the bank.
I'm not worried about the expensiveness. How does it
How does
work?
it feel?
Yeah. Does
It's
it do
not
the
bad.
job?
It's better than the cheap stuff. You know how there's that cheap stuff that
It's
you can
awful.
buy, that,
Yeah.
yeah, that a lot of like businesses have, that it hurts, it physically hurts to wipe yourself.
Yes.
No, it doesn't hurt at all. It's not like Charmin Soft, but it's not, I shouldn't say that. It's the thickness isn't there, but it's soft.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, it
I've never
hasn't,
tried it.
no. Yeah, I absolutely will keep buying it. Yeah. But anyway, so trends. Okay, what other
Okay,
trends?
so
So
let's
we were
reel her
talking
back
about,
in.
yeah, we were talking about before we started about, I had seen, I'm sure on TikTok, because that's where I get my information, that um a natural hair look is in right now. Like that's the trend for this summer into the fall, and everything is like wash and wear hair. You just or wash and go hair. You just, you don't need to fix it. You need to get a natural beachy wave look or whatever, but it doesn't have to be a look. It's just like, you just can go, which, oh.
I'm so grateful for that finally. I mean, I've been doing
It's like,
that for a
well,
while
I was
now.
gonna say, well, perfect. Now the trend caught up to me. Or,
Exactly. Exactly.
did I
Yeah.
start the trend? Is
I
what
think
I'm
you
thinking.
started
Like,
it.
oh, maybe I started it because um, that's a wonderful trend. I've seen there's a trend for no nail polish, which again, did I start that trend? I'm a big no. I like the no nail polish look, but just a more natural look, um, which is interesting too.
Yeah. This one I
Like,
feel like is very one way or the other for the whole look. Like there's either a lot going on to change your appearance or there's is what it is kind of deal.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. But again, that's social and stuff. Like I guess when I just walk around my neighborhood, I don't notice that so much.
Well, and again, I'm sure it's where you live. Like in Hazen, North Dakota, do I see a lot of people that look like me? Yes. If you were to be in, New York City, well, it's interesting about that. If you walk around New York, you see everything, right? You see everything,
Yeah.
which is
I
which
do
is
think
awesome
that
too.
I do think a lot of like we've talked about fillers and things like that, but I do there is a lot of that and a lot of um um
Botox.
Botox, thank you. Or like
Yeah,
the not a lot of expression through here going on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I do see
Right,
that.
but that too, thank goodness, is trending to a more natural. Even when people are getting the Botox and the filler, it's trending towards a more natural look. And boy, you
100%.
don't see that trend on TV. You still like you see people on movies and television. And I'm like, oh, they just they don't look real. They don't look natural. But people that I see that I know get those types of things done, the injectors, the people that are doing it are understanding too that like that's not good to look like that. You want to look like yourself.
Yeah. And what's
The
really cool,
lashes.
we can talk about
Sorry.
science. That's okay. Science is going this way a little bit too, where they're really trying to I mean, even like the fillers, what did you talk about with me the other day? Using
Easy
something
gel.
easy gel, using something from your body to
Yes.
help stimulate collagen production. Like I love that I feel like that is the way that things are kind of going.
Yeah.
You know, 10 years ago it wasn't, right? It was like
Right. Right.
pretty plasticky or whatever. Like
Right.
what do we have to make this happen now? And then it's like, okay, now we need to figure out how to do this in a healthier way. So that's
Right.
good. That's a good trend, I'd say.
Yeah. Agreed.
And to know that there are options out there that are probably being made. We may not know them yet here. So if you're like, I like this, is there a more natural way? Start researching it and figuring it out.
Right.
You probably
Right.
can find something, honestly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I was just having a conversation with somebody the other day who had just was talking about, he's in his late 60s and was talking about his hand was hurting all the time and he couldn't, he was showing me like he couldn't even go like this spirally with his hand. He's like, what should I do? And I was like, I said red light, I said infrared heat, PEMF therapy, like all of that is going to help. Platelet rich therapy or platelet
Stem
PRP,
cell stuff.
they can do that into your joints. So I would imagine they could maybe do his thumb area because his thumb was the problem. But there's all people immediately reach for because he's when I said anti-inflammatory, anything anti-inflammatory. So I was going to start saying red light, infrared, things like that. And he was like, oh yeah, yeah, ibuprofen. I was like, no, no, no ibuprofen, please. Like that's just killing your liver. That's just hurting you in the long run, in my opinion. Plus it's just masking. You want to try to fix what's going on, right? So that trend towards a more natural approach with all these options that we have now with technology, I think that's awesome.
Really do have so many options now. And that can be kind of paralyzing as well, but we have access to so many neat things right
Mm-hmm.
now. So
Mm-hmm.
just figuring out what works for you. I'm going to plug our retreats in right here because
Cool.
honestly, you get to go and try some things that we have at home or whatever. Like I kind
Mm-hmm.
of have a biohacking home at this point in my
Mm-hmm.
life, and so do you. And so like
Mm-hmm.
come and try some things whatever you see what you like, and then figure out how to bring that to your house. Because I think most of these things that we're talking about need to be done so regularly that it's just part of your routine. And then,
Right.
and instead of like, once a month, I'm not saying not to do the once a month things, but like finding a way to just have some of these hacks in your home, I think is important. I was thinking like, okay, so the face stuff, like we've talked about, like, yes, go and get your peel once a month or every 2 weeks or whatever. But the daily stuff, like doing some things, is going to be really important. And it's no different with your health.
Right. And again, it's what feels good to you. Like I'm such a believer in I use this reference all the time. I don't want to get pedicures once a month. But I know people that do, the people that love that. So
Yeah.
go get your pedicure once a month. I don't want to. That doesn't interest me. So, but find your thing. If it is a facial once a month or a massage or a coffee date with a girlfriend, like then put it in your calendar and go do it and make sure that you're taking that time for yourself. But yes, you're right. And um, our retreat here in Hazen tomorrow, yes, I will have my PEMF mat. I'll have my red light. These are all mine because I do these things at home. And then it's my red light therapy panel, infrared sauna blanket, my vibration plate. Um,
Yeah.
oh, my chi mover, my chi mover thingy. So yeah, so yes, you're right. Then people can come and try, and to have a whole day of it, how lucky, how great. Like you're going to feel like $1,000,000. But yes, to have something at home that you can go to when you're feeling some kind of a way. And is that a trend? Probably, but these are trends to me that are going to be long lasting because that's just kind of where we're headed now, right? As a people, we're headed towards the technology is bringing us to these places.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Geez. I mean, there was at one point where we weren't getting PMF at home, and now we've got it. Right? Like there's so many of these things that were very commercialized and figured out a way to make it affordable enough to bring into your home.
Right.
Even oxygen chambers. It's crazy.
Right.
Those were such a thing, and they're so beneficial. Like talk
Hmm.
so beneficial. But and they're still up there in price, but like if I had asthma or whatever, like whatever, if I had
Hmm.
an issue of any sort with lung or brain, I would have one of those in my house.
Yeah.
It's probably 10 grand, which is it. I get that that's a little bit, but that's cheaper than a car. That's cheaper than some mattresses people are buying. That's cheaper than you know,
It's cheaper than your long-term medical care.
hello. Yes,
So
100%.
that's I truly believe that. I say it now all the time, pay now or pay later. And
Yeah.
I'd rather pay now.
But how cool is that we can have one of those little tents in our house?
Yeah.
So neat. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. So yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
Um,
And then share with your friends. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
if you have something like that at home, offer your neighbors to come use it. Things like that. Like, we need to share and take care of each other in that way too. Yeah.
I would love to have the house eventually, to have the house that's like this really fun place to come and we
Mhm.
drink tea and biohack all afternoon
Yeah.
and then we go home versus like go out and have, four high noons and call it a day.
Yeah, that's
Feeling
a
like
rough
crap.
one for me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's
Oof.
just
I
it's just a
wish I
completely
could.
different perspective on
Yeah.
on it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun.
Mhm.
And that's what our retreats can kind of do and maybe inspire a little bit of that, I think. Community and health together.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a retreat tomorrow. You have one in South Dakota on Saturday. However, this will come, this podcast will come out after that. So
Oh, true. Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything set yet. And we talked about this before. Josie and I are operating a little bit different this summer than we have in the past, where we're doing our own individual retreats. Um, and we'll kind of congregate into the fall and winter and be doing some more together. But hopefully.
Yeah.
But I have one set for June. I gotta look just to make sure I don't spout off the wrong date. Um, Thursday, June 18th, I have one out at Lake Skakawea. So that'll be a really fun one. So, we will have some of those things that we just talked about, but more so that one will be about movement and being outside, grounding, um, the peace of the lake, things like that. So,
Yes,
yeah.
that'd be great.
Do you have a date set or not yet? Because you're doing your,
Well, right. So I don't know yet.
yeah.
It depends if I go to Spain or not. And I keep saying
Oh,
Spain. I'm actually going to Portugal, but I fly to Spain and then I get to Portugal and then I do a hike. So,
but
um,
you're saying it depends on if you go?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
You don't know
Um,
yet if you're gonna go.
I don't. It'll be kind of a last minute decision because I took on a position,
Oh, yes,
some
yeah.
working stuff. So it just depends on how the schedule all unfolds and if
Okay.
like it feels like I need to make sure I'm near internet access the whole time and that sort of
Oh,
thing, then I need to be that because I committed to this, you know.
yeah,
If I don't, and I have days that are I can, you know, I don't know,
yeah,
this whole lifestyle design, this is what we're figuring out. How to
yeah.
make this all work. And trial and error is where I'm at right now. But I do know that when I was in Spain this last time and trying to do coaching and meetings and stuff, I was waking up at 2 a.m. to do it because of the time change and stuff. And I just don't feel like that's best for not only me, but for people because if I have to do it once or twice, okay. But I couldn't even I couldn't even record a podcast. I couldn't get my speaker. It was just like internet just kept going out. I don't know. I had a really hard time. So that is not good for anybody.
Yeah.
So there's, we'll see. We'll see where I need to be. And
Okay.
that's only a few weeks away. So
Okay. And then but you do plan on having a couple more this summer potentially. So we'll
yeah,
just have
it'll
to,
just be probably later in the summer, August,
yeah, yeah.
September.
Perfect.
I don't know. Maybe we all need to go to North Dakota during the Sturgis rally.
It's a trend. You could make it a new trend.
Yeah, we'll all go somewhere else for the rally and we'll make it a fun weekend.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That's
We
great.
we 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 did talk about we're planning on doing one potentially in the Bismarck area
We did.
together. We'll have to see how that works out. But yeah.
All right. Anything else? I wasn't sure where our conversation was going to go today, and I don't know. It went somewhere.
It went all kinds of places, which is good. But we
We
are,
didn't, yeah, sorry,
yeah,
we didn't get into the
I
businesses, but that's okay.
that's okay. Um, we are gonna also, I mean, I just gonna quick throw a shout out to our future upcoming podcasts because today we're gonna be recording a bunch. We've got all kinds of fun guests. We had Bill Brian on the other day, so if you didn't hear that one yet, go back and listen to Bill. He's a pretty interesting gentleman who owns a business called Bountiful Rays. And then we have today we're having a conversation with three really great ladies. One of them who lives in Arizona, and she is a powerhouse in coaching women business owners. She's very interesting. Her name is Kimberly Rowlandson. We have Amanda. Um, oh my gosh, because I'm going to say her maiden name or her. I don't know which one is which. Amanda Brunell Rorick, or I've got it some way the wrong way around. I've just known her for a long time. She owns a business in Fargo, and she has been like the number one yoga studio in Fargo for many years, voted the number one for many years, Inspire. She's a little powerhouse also. We got three powerhouses today, and then we have Dee Gratz from Bismarck, and she is another powerhouse in her own right. And she has I mean, I think I'm going to just say this: she beat cancer, but she, there's many great other things that are great about her. So we look forward to hearing her story, Amanda's story, Kimberly's story, and bringing them to you all, so they
Yeah,
can inspire you and turn you into a powerhouse too. So
right, right.
let
The
it rub off on
let's go.
everybody.
That's right. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
Okay, bye.